right, everybody. We are back with Columbia head coach Megan Griffith. We're going to start with a question here in the room down to the right.
Coach, Kyle Matrician, Columbia Athletics. Second time here. Same question that I asked Kitty and Cece, just second time going through. Talk about thoughts, feelings, experience with this not being the first time.
Yeah, it's, one, this is just want to say thank you to the Carolina staff and for hosting us, but it does feel very familiar, and that's what I love about this, is like even going into the selection show post-Saturday, just knew what to expect, felt very confident, and just having another night of sleeping in your own bed, I think also really helped us. Helped us reset, helped us move forward, and honestly, I woke up this morning and I was ready to play, so that tells you something, and I just think there's an overall calmness right now amongst our staff and our players, because we've been here, so looking forward to tomorrow.
And Jen Hatfield, we'll start with you.
Jen Hatfield with the Next. Hey, Meg, thanks for doing this. I got two questions for you, if I may. First of all, you've talked about how your team got better despite losing Abby, throughout the season. And because you have so many different weapons on this year's team, right? I'm curious how important you think that is, or how much of an advantage you think that is in this setting specifically, where Washington has to prepare for that many different weapons on short notice.
Major advantage, there's not having one person you have to key in on, and it's March. I think we're going to see people step up into different roles like we did last year for this first 4 game against Vanderbilt, and I think honestly Abby's presence, I think that shows just like what a 4-year player can do in a program, is she was able to show everybody like what it took to get here, and now you have a Kitty Henderson leading that charge, and a Cecilia Collins, and even a Perry Page as a junior captain, so it's just exciting because I think they're really approaching this as not just we get another chance, but we deserve the right to be here, and we know we can win games. This team has greater goals, and I know we're going to have players ready to step up.
And then, how's Mia Broom feeling about this matchup against her home state school? And more broadly, how do you kind of prepare the first years for the stuff that your upperclassmen already know from coming last year?
Yeah, Mia is very excited, but that was no shocker. I don't think we could have played anybody and she would have been excited, but I do think there's definitely a little bit of pride for her in this, because she wasn't recruited by a school like Washington, honestly. So, she's just such an underdog mentality person. That's what I love about her, is she's a go-getter, and she's really elevated in the last couple weeks, her basketball play, her IQ. So I'm excited for her to get this first chance and play in front of her parents here tomorrow. And, I think for the rest of our team, we are a young team. We only have 4 upperclassmen. We have 8 underclassmen. Just to have this experience in one of your first and second years, and now have a team of players that all they know is March Madness, all they know is postseason and winning championships in the Ivy League. It's really important to get these moments and to make the most of them. And, even just like walking into the locker room today, our players were, they're like, we've been here. Like, they knew what to expect. It was exciting, of course, and we're super grateful, but I just think there's an overwhelming sense of confidence in our preparation right now, and that's the thing that's going to carry us forward and what I want our young players to remember the most.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move next to Rob Brown. Rob?
Thanks, Coach. 2 evenly matched teams. What do you see as an advantage for Columbia?
Physicality and playing inside out and playing fast. This is a team, Washington, I have a lot of respect for Tina Langley. We've known each other for a while. I know she respects me too and what we do and how we work. So I don't think we're going to be catching this team by surprise. They also have a Yale graduate student on their team right now, so we've got some history there. But I also have recruited a lot of the players that are there. I know that team really well. Just 2 super skilled teams that I think, Washington's a little bit more like methodical, surgical in how they attack you. And for us, we want to speed them up, especially on our offensive end. I think that's an area of the game that we can really lean into. And then our guards are really physical. That's a major difference between the 2 teams. We can all really shoot it. We can all pass, but, we're going to try to lean into that physicality.
And, when I look at the past year's schedule, I'm kind of drawn to Richmond as a little bit of an analogous team. If you see it that way also, but what did you learn from that game, or maybe it was Indiana or Duke, that's going to help for tomorrow night?
Yeah, all three, Rob. Honestly, one, I think Indiana, obviously having played them in a close game as well, being a Big Ten opponent, Indiana is in the tournament as well, right? So that was a really helpful early game for us to know what it felt like to play against the Big Ten team. Richmond, definitely, who earned their at-large. Super talented, can score at all 5 positions. The thing that's different between Richmond and Washington is they have a 5 that can stretch you and shoot. This is a team that's going to play through their 5, but more as a passer and a facilitator and a good athlete that can rebound the ball. And then, coming down here to play Duke at Duke, the basketball that exists between, in Tobacco Road and here between these two programs, I think we've had this experience already. This is not new. Getting off the airport and seeing, now we're in, UNC land and seeing like Duke sucks shirts. Like I saw that this morning. I was like laughing, but same thing when we were at Duke. So, this is basketball country, and I'm excited that we get to represent the great University of Columbia down here and show everybody what we can do.
Last one for me, a lot of attention, understandably, to your players, to you. Could you talk about your staff and how they've helped build this program from the ground up?
Absolutely. I have a phenomenal group of people that, one, have been super loyal, but also just totally bought into everything that we've been preaching and teaching from day one. I'll start my associate head coach, Tyler Cordell. We've been working together for 13 years now. Super rare in this business now, especially as young head coaches. Our athletic director took a chance on me when I was 30 years old, and she's been with me since day one, and super grateful to Peter for that. And I've been able to retain her and elevate her. And then, to have 2 other really strong females, in Ali Bassetti and Cy Lippold, that are just great role models, but do it the right way. Cy being an Ivy League alum who I've known since she was in high school. Ali Bassetti, she's been in New York City, and I have a great respect for her knowledge of the game and the way that she coaches and teaches. I love working with these women, and honestly, I'm really grateful because they elevate me every day. And that's what really this business is about, is winning with people, and that's something I know, and I'm really confident that I've won with this staff.
We'll move next to Perry. Perry, please identify yourself and your affiliation for the transcript.
Sure. Perry Sook at Pix 11 Sports. Hey, Coach, 2 quick ones from me. One is back in the tournament, but again, as a first 4 team with another Ivy as a first 4 team, any additional pressure to show that the Ivy deserves these spots?
Yeah, no pressure. Honestly, I think it's funny. I was on a text thread with Carrie and Carla, the other 2 head coaches in the Ivy Leagues, and I just said I was grateful for them being great competitors and coaches in our league, and thank you for elevating. And as an alum, how proud I am. But we all deserve to be here, and I would just say that they're 2 great coaches. I know I'm very confident in myself and my coaching staff's ability, but no pressure. I think we're just ready to show everybody what we can do, and it's great that tonight Princeton gets to play. We have tomorrow, and then Harvard obviously is this weekend. So. We're all just really focused on the task at hand right now.
Thank you, Coach. And then as we look at a 3-bid Ivy, as we look at the impact 4-year players can have, and then we see a transfer student from Yale playing at Washington, and we see Chen playing for UConn, is it time for the Ivy to revisit their grad player rules?
No, I think the integrity of the league and what it's about, that's a decision for our presidents who are going to make those decisions. But honestly, I'm just focused on us trying to do what we do with our 4-year players, and that's something that I know that's been a hallmark of Ivy athletics. So again, that's something that I don't really have any comments on, but I think our presidents will be able to make those decisions with our athletic directors.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll go to Madeline Kenny, New York Post.
Hi, I have 2 questions, but my first question, just what does the next 30 hours of preparation look like for you guys? How much is it, getting rewatching film and getting prepared, but also taking time to just relax and enjoy the moment?
Yeah, it's definitely a balance, Madeline. I think for our team, we're good when we're loose, and right now, they're prepared. I think our staff's done a great job. We have our practice segment on Carmichael floor, which is going to be important, and for us to just really lock in. I'm going to get shots up with our seniors later today, and just get back into our routine. This is what we would do in a normal week, and we're going to approach it. That's the thing about the Ivy League. We do have some of these back-to-back weekends, so I really feel confident that we know how to turn this around and be ready for the second game. But the day before is really just about being in your zone and making sure that you feel confident. What the game plan is, and but at the same time, we're not obsessing on anything too much. So, really important we get a good night's sleep. We got a 7 p.m. tip tomorrow, and, make sure that we go through the motions and do our visualization tomorrow as well.
And then my follow-up, this is not Columbia related, but Stephanie Gately, she's the head coach at Farley Dickinson, and she said she recruited you back when she was at LIU. And I guess just what would you say about her impact on women's college basketball? She's been at it for a long time, especially in the New York, New Jersey area.
Yeah, Stephanie Gately is absolutely a mentor of mine. So Stephanie Gately, context, I'm from outside of Philadelphia. When I knew her, she was at St. Joseph's coaching, and between her coaching jobs, she actually coached my AAU team for like a month. And it was one of the best experiences I ever had as a basketball player because she really pushed me, she really believed in me, and I was the first player she offered her scholarship to when she took the job at LIU, and I didn't have any scholarship or Division I offers at the time. So, talk about somebody that the power of believing in something, and that's what she does. She wins everywhere she goes. So I have tremendous respect for Stephanie Gately. I still text her often. I text her sister often. That's family to me, and I'm just really proud of her and excited for her that she got to show everybody what she can do at Farley Dickinson.
Rob, do you have another one?
I didn't, but I can come up with something.
Yeah, your hand was raised, but we
Oh,
don't
it
have
was?
to.
Oh,
We don't
sorry.
have to
I guess-
force it.
Oh, you know what? I never lowered it from before. Thanks. Coach, I guess, I know I asked you this Sunday, but could you talk about the fan base and like how everyone's going to be there to support you on tomorrow night?
That's something that I've been so proud of. Maybe one of the most important parts of being at Columbia and being back home is, building the community that we have, and just grateful that these fans feel like they've done this with us. I think that's when you get people to travel and, you get people to be in it with you, I think you can accomplish great things because that's what college athletics is about. I think that's the power of college athletics, and on a campus, our campus, Columbia University right now, being a unifying force on campus, I think is really special and an honor that, we don't take lightly. And I'm just glad that they can share in this experience with us, and we can do this thing together, and they'll be with us. I know they're going to be here tomorrow in force, so looking forward to that.
Thanks. Good luck, Coach.
All right, Coach Griffith, I think we're good.